just different ways to empower players. So that, just trading those ideas, and, it was really valuable time that I had a chance to spend with them. I really enjoyed it.
What I found really interesting about talking to them and Rocco Baldelli and people throughout the organization is that, analytics can mean so many different things to many people, and it can be a cliche. It can be, okay, somebody wearing a green visor sitting in a windowless room, typing on a computer and coming up with all kinds of Venn diagrams and weird charts and all that. And I don't think they look at it that way. And one of the interesting things they've told me is, like with their scouts, they actually want to create technologies and analytics that simplify the gathering of numerical information so they can spend more of their time talking to people and gathering, human intelligence. Yes. and finding out background on players. I'm guessing that you have a similar view.
Yeah, we do. And we're very fortunate. We've got, we don't have an analytics team like most men's sports do. Our team is made up of Paul Swanson, and
he's very good.
He's very good, and we're very, very fortunate. The WNBA teams don't have what we have in the way of having his expertise and his longevity in the game and his passion for women's sports, and particularly women's basketball. So we're very, very fortunate. But and sometimes we even we go round and round. Sometimes people that are so strongly analytic based, you lose the human element, and so there's times we kind of go back and forth. That I see what those stats say, but I'm concerned about this or that in terms of the human side of it, as you mentioned, and marrying the two is the perfect world. Somebody who's efficient and meets some of your thresholds, and also carries the intangibles that you're looking for. That's what you're after. That's utopia, to marry the two. And then the hard decisions are when maybe they've got the human element, but not quite, the analytics matching, or vice versa. And then that's the art of it. And you spend a lot of time, making those difficult decisions, and you hope that you get it right.
Thanks to Cara Quinn, one of our more recent sponsors, CARAQUINN. You can find her at Google, however you like. You can also find her on Facebook, Zillow, or Instagram. She is a local realtor. She lives in Minneapolis. She loves the city. She loves the architecture of the city, and she can help you find a great place, or she can help you sell your home. You can email her at Cara, C-A-R-A, at brickandbanister.com. You can also call her at 612-203-7657. My wife and I just moved into a home. Unfortunately, I met Cara after we'd already chosen our place, but hope she's still available to us when we make our next move. We met her at a recent live show. Just another great person. It's fun to be associated with. Again, Cara Quinn, CARAQUINN. Find her on Google or at Brick and Banister. So this is a tough one, and I noticed during, a couple of weeks ago during your game against the Sparks, a lot of your fan base was saying, hey, Raquana Williams shouldn't even be playing in this game. Now, your WNBA management, I don't know how much you want to get into this, but do you have a thought on her case, the fact that, she was arrested for basically domestic violence charges, that her case is pending, but she is playing in the league?
Well, I wish she was suspended for our game.
Yeah, she had quite a game.
And I think they should have to vacate that W once it all comes about. But no, but in all seriousness, it's a difficult thing. I'm not as well versed in the case, although I will say that the coverage of our sport is growing, and a great example of this is what High Post Hoops is doing in terms of being able to get information out there more around the case. There's video statements of the people involved, and I do know that the league is going through an investigation. A lot of the teams reached out to the league to understand what the process is with this, obviously expressing some concerns. This is not something that's common, that we've dealt a lot with, and I hope it's not something that does become common. But we have to make sure, and this is one of those times without a commissioner, that, it doesn't start until July. I think if she's in place, it probably is a little more swift and concrete in terms of the actions, but hopefully they'll do due diligence, because that's what a person in this situation deserves. At the same time, the integrity of our league is important. As long as we don't cross the line of women's sports, being, that we're kind of doing the right things to a fault. We have to do, what would the NBA do? And so, this is one of those times that we don't want to be held more accountable than maybe what men's sports are. At the same time, the integrity of our league is really important to all of us.
Nathan Hansen asked a couple questions about stated media coverage of the WNBA and also about Hanzu. I hope I'm getting her name right. My weakness is name pronunciations. I always apologize for that. Saying there's
the
an
Rapinoe
article.
one was a good one. The Rapinoe.
I know. I'm so bad about that. And, it's one of those things too. I say it and I go, oh, I just screwed that up. It's
endearing.
I'm still at heart a print person, and I worry about spelling. And then I go on a podcast and I pronounce names wrong, and I think, okay, I screwed that up, but you corrected it, so I let it go. But I do apologize to Megan. She's a great player. I should know how to. I do know how to pronounce her name. Sometimes I just kind of go through it before I think about it.
It's okay, Jim Sohane.
Hey, believe me, my name is mispronounced frequently, and I welcome it. So Nathan, our friend Nathan Hansen mentioned that Hanzu. There was an article on Deadspin about her recently and her time with the Liberty, and asked about your thoughts on. Okay, help me with the pronunciation. Xiao Ting?
Yeah, Xiao Ting. Yep, and Hanshu. Hanshu.
Thank you, Hanshu. Good. So I think that's a good topic for a future podcast. Let's end this one here, but that's something we can get into at a future date. Thanks to Cheryl. Thanks to all of our sponsors and our listeners. Check out all the shows at talknorth.com, and we'll talk to you soon.